Hello, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah. Once I logged in, but then again something happened. I don't know. Connection got lost. Anyway, at last we are here once again. Now I can't share the slides. What shall we do for that? Okay, so then I have not been given the chance to share the slide. I just contact them and tell them. Yeah, I don't know whether anybody from the management is here. I can't share the slides. Okay, now I can share the slide. This is our third session. If you can remember actually. Yeah. Let me share the slide first, then we'll talk. Okay, I will share the slide. Hi, okay. I suppose you can hear me. Our subject is language and linguistics. Okay, so this is the third session that we are meeting. That means we have conducted lectures for 4 hours actually. 2 sessions, 4 hours. Okay, today our topic is language structures. Okay, language structures. Before that, can you remember what we did? If I summarize with what we did, I will show it to you. First day we discussed, I'll open that and show it to you. Okay, I will show you that also, just to refresh your memory. Okay, the first day we did these things. How many languages are there in the world? Does the United States have an official language? What is human language? Signs, arbitrary and non-arbitrary. Language and pattern structures. Speech and patterns, language use. The origin of languages, babble to babble. Language and dialects. Modes of linguistic communication. Do humans alone have language? Can chimpanzees learn a human language? What is linguistic? Suppose you can remember what we did during our first session. This is the very first session actually. we'll go to the second session actually and check what we did. Okay, this is for the second session. Under that, language and linguistic, we did the origin of language, impurities, illogicalities, ungrammaticalities, language and dialect. What is the social dialect? Different languages or dialects. What is standard variety? Is there a right and wrong in English usage? Modes of linguistic communication, writing, signing. Do humans alone have a language? How animals communicate in their natural environment? Can chimpanzees learn a human language? So that is what we did. Okay, today we are with the third session. We'll start something new. Okay, language and structures. Suppose you received the slides for the earlier two sessions. Am I correct? Did you receive the slides? Yes or no? Okay, I like if you respond actually. At least you can put a message to the chat box. Hari, okay. Read language and structure. Okay, finish. That to say finish. Okay, very good. You have received the previous slide. This also you will get. Words are the centerpiece of language. And when you think about languages, you typically think of words. Okay, so language, when we take a language actually, central, that is the words. Because when you think about language, what comes to your mind first is the words. In examining language, words are a focal point. And we begin our investigation of language structures by looking at words from several perspectives. Okay, our topic is language structure, and we are going to study the structure by looking at words. Okay, because words are very important in a language. So that is the focal point. So we are going to study the structure of language, paying attention to the words. Under that, we will be doing the meaningful parts of words, the sounds and syllables that make up words, the principles that organize words into phrases and sentences, the semantic relationships that link words in sets. And we will be covering these areas in this lesson. Okay, words and their parts, lexicon and morphology. Okay, that is the second section we are going to study. Words and their parts, lexicon and morphology. Lexicon means words and morphology, both are synonym actually. See. Okay. What does it mean to know a word? Okay, we say, I know that word. Or else we will say, Mama ye vachane danna. So what is the meaning of knowing a word? Using a word requires 4 kinds of information. If you are telling, I know that word, you should be familiar with these 4 components, 4 segments. It sounds, and they are sequencing. This is called phonological information. If you say, I know a word, or I know that word, that means you should be able to pronounce it. And then its meaning, that means semantic information. Pronouncing is called phonological information, okay? Then meaning, semantic information, how related words such as the plural for nouns and past tense for verbs are formed. That means morphological information. So if you say, I know this word, you should know singular form, plural form. If it is a verb, you should know past tense, past participle. That means morphological information. Last one is its category. Example, whether it is a noun, whether it is a verb, whether it is a preposition, you know, 8 parts of speech. Okay. So you should be able to recognize it, which part this is. To which part this belongs to, and how to use it in a sentence. That means syntactic information. Okay. So if you get a question, what does it mean by knowing a word? So the answer is actually, you should know that words, phonological information, semantic information, morphological information, and syntactic information. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next. Okay, for children and adults, using any word requires information about sounds, phonological, meaning, semantic, related words, morphology, and use in sentences, syntax. And that information must be stored in the brain dictionary. Actually, we know, just imagine how many words we know. And do we have them in a dictionary? So that's true. In a dictionary also words are there, but we have our brain dictionary. And that is called mental lexicon, or else lexicon in simple terms. Okay, so our brain dictionary is really helpful for us. And in our brain dictionary, we can understand, we know how to pronounce the word, meaning of that word, and other words related to it, and how to use that word when and where necessary. We know it because we have a brain dictionary. Okay, then lexical categories. Okay, lexical categories. The ability to use any word in a sentence requires knowledge of its lexical category. And don't get confused with lexical category. Lexical category means you should be able to identify what type of word this is. There are 8 types actually. So out of these 8, you should be able to recognize, this is a noun, this is a verb, this is a determiner, this is a conjunction, like that. Okay. Which ones are verbs, nouns, or adjectives? So of course, the child's knowledge is unconscious. Small children, their knowledge is unconscious because they don't learn these things by heart. And even a grammarian's child, he will say, father is a grammarian. Even then, the child wouldn't ordinarily know the names of the categories. Even though your father is a grammarian, when you are small, you don't know the category. Because when we were collecting words to our vocabulary, when we are small, we don't collect them. Okay, now I am taking a noun into my brain. Now I am taking an adjective. It's not like that. Is that clear? One way focuses on closely related form of a word. So to be familiar with the word, you have to focus the word very closely. And then you have to check what are the other closely related form of this word. So just imagine book. So then you can say, book is singular, books. Okay, like that. Another way to identify categories, focus on which words and categories can occur together in phrases. Okay, so you should know which words can go together. For an example, noun plus article. Fork, the fork. And then the plural form S. Basic adjectives such as old, told, and bright can be preceded by very or too. You can say too old, very old, too bright, very bright, like that. Basic verbs can be preceded by can or will. Will laugh. Any word can be used after will, any base form, will laugh. Below are examples of these patterns. Okay. I will show you the examples. Here, to see. Okay, so bike is a noun. But if you know the word, it's not sufficient to learn only bite. Sorry, bike. You should know bike, bikes, a bike, the bikes. Okay. Then aunt, aunts, an aunt, the aunts, or the aunt, camp, camps, a camp, the camp, camps, like that. Okay. So you should know the related form of a word. When you say, I know this word, you should know the related forms of a word. Okay, is that clear? So then there's no point of telling, I know that word, look. Yeah, look, I know. But you should know, looks is there, looked is there, looking is there, can look there is there, will look, like that. Other related forms also you should know. Is it clear?
Yes, madam.
Hi, okay, you go. I simply put them, that is there in your syllabus, but if you know these things, we can quickly go through it. Now I am going to talk about the structure of words under the word category. Some are verbs. Okay, you know verbs, but I just put it. Okay, did you finish reading?
Yes.
Okay, so then verbs. English speaking children know that verbs have a set of related form. Even small children, they are aware of this actually. This knowledge is implicit. The child is not consciously aware of it. Subcategories of verb. To use a verb, a child must implicitly know the kinds of sentence structures the verb allows. Because children store this knowledge in the mental lexicon, mental dictionary. It's useful to treat it here. Okay, you see these sentences, phrases actually. So here there are 3 phrases with asterisk mark. Second, third, fifth, because they are wrong actually. We can say Sarah told a joke. Sarah villuakkiwa. Sarah laughed a joke. If you say like that, it's wrong. It does not give any sense. Sarah told at a joke, meaningless. Sarah laughed at a joke, it's correct. Sarah told, it's incomplete. We have to say but Sarah laughed, it's okay. So here, 2 words we have used. One is tell, other one is laugh. Past tense is here. Okay, both are verbs, tell and laugh, but there are differences. Okay, so if you say I know verbs, you should know these things. And here some more. When you finish reading, tell me. So you can see here, there are some verbs which needs something else, another part or an object to complete the meaning. Okay, for an example here, phrase number 5, we'll see what it is. Yeah, Sarah told. It's incomplete. Meaning is incomplete because the verb tell needs something else to complete the meaning. But laugh is not like that. Sarah laugh. That's okay. Okay, so here 7 and 8. Some verbs permit but don't require noun phrase after them. 7 and 8. The diva played the piano. Okay, there are some verbs. If you want, you can have an object. If you don't want, without an object also you can use. The diva played the piano. How do we call these verbs actually? Can you remember transitive and intransitive verbs? Okay. Yeah, Lishal, you can read them. Then we'll go to, I'm not touching everything because later you can read them, because since your childhood you are learning these 8 parts of speech. Okay, this may be the 100th time that you are learning, sometimes, maybe more than that actually. Okay, then nouns. Verb is a lexical category. Okay, noun is also a lexical category. Okay, did you read it? Okay, nouns constitute another lexical category. Another lexical category is nouns. Okay, so then now in nouns, regarding nouns, or there are singular and plural form. You should know. Cat, cats, dishes. They are regular. Tooth, teeth, and children, child, children, mouse, mice. They are irregular actually. And at the same time, there are few nouns which take both singular and plural form the same. But at the same time, there are languages in which nouns are not marked by number. For an example, Chinese language. That is nouns. Then adjectives. Simply we'll touch because you know these things. Okay, so I suppose you read it and you understood it. Is it okay? Should I explain them? Okay, so then you should know what is an adjective. Comparison of adjectives. Adjectives can be compared, superlative, comparative form, superlative form, tall, taller, tallest, beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful, good, better, best. So there are different ways of comparing adjectives. You just put a message if should I touch them in detail or simply we will touch. Which one do you like? Because time is precious actually. What is your opinion? Yes. What's your idea?
Ma'am, we can understand the note. If
Understand
anything, we will ask. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Because I want to save the time. Then we'll go. And then pronouns. Simply read, and after reading, if it is necessary to explain, you just tell me. Then I will do that. Yes, pronouns. There are different types of pronouns. The most common one is personal pronouns actually. The demonstrative pronouns, interrogative pronouns, relative pronouns, indefinite pronouns. There are many more. But most common pronoun type that we are most familiar is personal pronoun. There are 7 actually. I, we, you, they, he, she, it. Primarily, personal pronouns are distinguished from one another by representing different parts to a social interaction like a conversation. Okay, I have mentioned it here. First person, speaker. Second should come down. And here. A first person, that means the speaker. I, we. Okay, me, mine. Me is subjective pronoun, mine is possessive pronoun. I, we is subject, us is object, ours is possessive. Otherwise, first person we all know that is I and we. Second person, you, yours, you. Third person, she, he, it, they. Okay, that's okay. Then determiners. Okay, determiners. Determiners, it's a small category. Precede nouns. Precede means they come before the nouns. And there are different types of determiners. Define and indefinite articles, the, and they are determiners. Demonstrative determiners are there like this, that, these, those. And possessive determiners are there, mine, our, your, like that. And then interrogative determiners are there, which, what, whose, like that. Okay, determiners, they are also one category. Then prepositions. Remember, you are not learning something new here. You are simply reminding 8 parts of speech. Okay, 8 parts of speech. So they are lexicon categories. Prepositions constitute a class with few enough members that they can be enumerated. Actually, there is a limited number of prepositions. That is the reason. A few enough members means prepositions are limited. And they do not have endings or other variations and are invariant in form. And prepositions are different from each other actually. They typically precede a noun as in at a concert, on Tuesday, or under the table. Preposition indicates semantic relationship. Yeah, all these things are there. Okay, that is preposition. Then adverbs. Quickly understand. Adverbs also you are well aware. The most nebulous and puzzling of the traditional word class. The category doesn't suit English very well. For one thing, adverbs can't be identified by their form alone and don't generally have related forms. Many adverbs are derived from adjectives by adding ly, that you know, but others, including the most common ones, carry no distinctive marker. Okay, for an example, besides that, not all words ending in ly are adverbs. So normally we know most of the adverbs ends with ly, but there are some other words ending with ly, but they are not adverbs. Okay, for an example, manly, heavenly, they are adjectives. Heavenly comfort, manly figure, they are adjectives, but not adverbs. Yes, that is adverbs. Last one, 7, 8 parts of speech. Yeah. Conjunctions. Okay, conjunctions. You know conjunctions pretty well, I am sure. Coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions. We use coordinating conjunctions to form compound sentences, and we use subordinating conjunctions to form complex sentences. There are many conjunctions, coordinating conjunctions. We remember them as fanboys. That is the mnemonic device for that. F for A for right, and N for neither, no, those things are there. Okay, conjunctions, you know. Okay, so I will show you what we studied up to now. So we were talking about lexical categories. Actually, there are 8 lexical categories in English language, actually. Okay, so okay, these lexical categories are nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions. What else? Determiners, conjunctions. What else? Did we miss something? Okay. Verbs, nouns, adjectives, pronouns, determiners, prepositions, adverbs, and conjunctions. They are the lexical categories. Now, I suppose you are okay with lexical categories. Do you have any question? Are they clear to you?
Yes, madam, it was clear.
Okay. We'll start this part now, morphology. And this is one part of this lesson is morphology. Okay, under this we'll study what is morphology, introduction to morph, morpheme, allomorph, inflectional and derivational morphemes, word formation process. Okay. Have you studied morphology early? Or is this the first time that you are learning them? You can't remember whether you have learned them early or not. Is that? Yes. Have you studied morphology early?
No, ma'am.
Okay, don't worry. We'll start from the beginning. Now, did you read these things? What is morphology? Morphology is a study of words. In simply we say, morphology means studying of words. It basically deals with word formation, examines the relationship between words, and analyze their constituent elements. Okay, so morphology discusses word formation, examine the relationship between words. So what are the relationship between these words? And at last, morphology analyzes their constituent elements. Constituent elements means with what elements a word has been formed. So for us, it may be a single word, but inside that single word, there are many constituents. So you should know about it. For an example, misunderstand. Misunderstand is a single word, but inside that there are elements. Morphemes are there actually, misunderstand. Morphology focuses on the various morphemes that make up a word. Okay, morphology focuses on the various morphemes that make up a word. The concepts such as morphemes, morph, and allomorph are basic to the study of morphology. So if you are going to study morphology, today also you are going to study morphology. And then in this area, morph, allomorph, and morphemes are basic elements of morphology. So then here we are going to study what is a morpheme, what is a morph, what is an allomorph. And don't get confused with these terms. They are technical terms actually. Okay, don't get confused with technical terms. It's just like, it's a name actually given. Okay, morpheme, just check. Okay, here, the term morpheme has two words in it. So now we are going to study about morpheme. Morpheme is the study of formation of words. But now we are going to study how this word morpheme was formed. The term morpheme has two words in it. One is morph, other one is eme. Okay, these two words got together and we are having the word morpheme. Morph means the shape actually. Eme means meaning. The word morpheme consists of two parts, morph and eme. Morph is the shape of the word, and when we add eme to morph, it becomes morpheme. Okay, what is a morpheme? Okay. Morpheme is the smallest meaningful unit that cannot be further divided and analyzed. Very simple. Take it into your mind. Morpheme is the smallest meaningful unit. And this unit cannot be further divided or analyzed. Okay. Suppose you got the idea. Morpheme is the smallest meaningful unit that cannot be further divided and analyzed. So that is the end. After that, it cannot be further divided. See the example, unjustifiable. It's a single word. But inside this single word, there are three morphemes. One is un. Second one is justify. Third one is able. Unjustifiable. It became unjustifiable. Okay, did you get the idea here? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, here. Further, the same thing, unjustifiable. Un is the prefix, which means not. And in this example, it is used to negate the adjective justifiable. Okay? Un, you know, affixes. Affixes means, under affixes, there are two. One is called prefixes, other one is called suffixes. Prefixes will come before the noun. Suffixes will come after the noun. Okay, here, un is a prefix. That is a morpheme actually. So, the morpheme un negate the adjective justifiable. Justifiable ne. Sadharaniya kala nohaki. The suffix able is used to form adjective that is usually placed at the end of a verb such as usable, lovable, deniable, even unjustifiable. Here, that comes at the end. All the three morpheme un, justify, and able in the word unjustifiable are indivisible. If we divide them further, they will lose their meaning. So after this un, justify, able, we cannot take further divide. Justify, that cannot be further divided. Able, we can divide if you want, but then it is meaningless. And then okay, thus the morphemes are said to be the parts of words such as prefixes, suffixes, and root. Okay, for example, in the same word, unjustifiable. Un is a prefix, justify is the root, able is the suffix. So that is how we can analyze the word unjustifiable. Okay, here there are three morphemes. First one is un, it is a prefix. Second one is justify, it is the root word. Able is the suffix that is at the end. Okay, so morphemes can immediately be divided into two. Free morpheme, bound morpheme. Before I go to free morpheme and bound morpheme, now check whether you are clear with morpheme. Here. Tell me whether it is clear to you. If you have a minute doubt, you have to ask. Okay. Morpheme is the smallest meaningful unit that cannot be further divided or analyzed. Is that clear to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. One example is here, unjustifiable. Inside this word, there are 3 morphemes. Okay, then that is clear. And then here we discuss the same thing in different way. The morphemes are said to be. When we take morphemes, actually they are prefixes, suffixes, and root words. Normally, root word is there. Then we can say prefix or a suffix or both, just like unjustifiable. Okay, now you know what morphemes are. There are 2 types of morpheme. One is called free morpheme. Other one is called bound morpheme. Okay, take free morpheme. Free morpheme. Did you read this?
Yes, ma'am.
A free morpheme is a morpheme. Free morpheme is also a morpheme that can stand alone as a word. But special thing regarding a free morpheme that can stand alone without joining to another element as a meaningful word. It is also called an unbound morpheme. Free morpheme or unbound, same meaning. Or a freestanding morpheme. Many words in English consist of a single free morpheme. So most of the words in English language, they are free morphemes actually. See the example. I need to go now, but you can stay. I need to go now, but you can stay. Even you might have uttered the same sentence. Put another way, none of the 9 words in that sentence can be divided into smaller parts that are also meaningful. So now we know morpheme is the smallest unit that cannot be further divided. And here there are 9 words. All of these words are morpheme. We call them free morpheme because without joining any other word, it can convey a meaning. I, mama, need, avashyai, to, go, yanda, now, yanda, now, that, namu, you, oyata, can, පුළුවන්. Stay. නතර වෙන්න. Okay. I cannot be further divided. Need cannot be further divided. To go now, but you can stay. Nothing can be further divided. But they convey a meaning without the help of any other word or any other element. Put another way, none of the 9 words in that sentence can be divided into smaller parts that are also meaningful. Is this clear? Free morpheme, are they clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, අපි දැන් මෙහෙම වාක්‍යයක් ගමුකෝ. She is beautiful. She is a free morpheme. Is also a free morpheme. Is also a free morpheme. But what about the beautiful?
Bound morpheme.
It's not a free morpheme because it's a bound morpheme.
Bound morpheme.
Beautiful is a word which is not a free morpheme because there are 2 morphemes inside it. Beautiful. Okay, but here I need to go now, but you can stay. All are free morpheme. We'll see bound morpheme. Okay. Sorry. Bound morpheme. Bound morpheme is a word element that cannot stand alone as a word, including both prefixes and suffixes. Actually, bound morphemes are prefixes and suffixes. You can remember them in that way also. Yeah, see this. Okay, this example. Start. When we put the prefix re, it will become restart. Okay, so then in this word restart, re is a bound morpheme. Start is a free morpheme. Start can stand alone and convey a meaning, but re cannot stand alone and convey a meaning. And see these 2 examples, enrich. Rich is a free morpheme. It gives a complete meaning. But N is a bound morpheme. When we take N only, there's no meaning. So N should get touch with another one, connected with another one. Then it will become enrich. Okay, now there's a meaning. Then happiness. Happy is a free morpheme. But ness is a bound morpheme. To convey a meaning, this bound morpheme needs to join another word. Happy, happy, happiness. Suppose it is clear to you. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, morph. We learn about morph. Now, what we finished is morpheme, the smallest meaningful unit of a word that cannot be further divided. And then we got to know there are two types of morpheme, free morpheme and bound morpheme. And morpheme, that's over. Now we are going to morph. Okay, check whether you can understand this. An idea about morph? Yes, another slide also for the same thing. Okay, we'll see. So here you have to understand very clearly, otherwise you will get confused because nothing is there to get confused. But these are very technical areas of language studies actually. Okay, so then don't think very seriously, but understand properly. A morph is simply the phonetic representation of a morpheme. How the morpheme is said. Okay? Morpheme is about the appearance in the sense how we write it. But morpheme, this is morph, that is about the phonetic representation, means how we pronounce the verb or word, how we pronounce the word. You see here, I have to tell you here, we Sri Lankan English speaker, we are not native speakers of English language. English can be maubasavanimeni. So we will pronounce these three S: cats, dog, S, houses, S. We pronounce all these things the same way, the majority. We say cats, dogs, houses. But native English speaker, he pronounces these three words in three different ways. Okay, remember, native English speaker, cats, dogs, houses. That is how the native speaker talks. Cats, dogs, houses, like that. Okay, this sir, the, is, are the different sounds of the same morpheme. Okay, so S, the same morpheme, but it has different sounds. The morpheme is simply the phonetic representation of a morpheme. Morpheme meka, the pronounce karani, that is morph. If you need, go through once again and tell whether it is clear. Okay, did you get an idea?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Now you know morpheme is the way we write the word. Morph is the way we pronounce the word. You see here. First you read, then I will explain. Okay, man. The word man is carrying one morph. So now here we are discussing both morpheme and morph together. Okay, man, one morph. That means we pronounce it in the same way, man. I will say man. When I look at the word, even you will say man. Okay, so it is one morph. One morpheme. Morpheme means how we write it. Man. It cannot be further divided. Man කියන එක තව ඉස්සරහට divide කරන්න බෑනේ. Okay, so man is, the word man is having one morph, one morpheme. Is that clear? If it is not clear, you can ask me.
Ma'am, can you tell the morpheme here?
Sure. Man, a man, that is the word. So inside this word, inside this English word, we have to analyze this word. Okay, we can say one morph because we say man together. And man කියන එක අපිට බෙදන්න බෑ. sorry, එකක් තමයි කියන්නේ man. At the same time, it's a single morpheme because man cannot be further divided. මෙතන මට උදාහරණයක් මම දෙන්නම්කෝ තව විස්තර කරන්න. ඊළඟ ස්ලයිඩ් එකේ තියෙනවා. Books. මම කියනවා books කියලා. How many morph?
One.
One. එතකොට book කියලා වචනයක් තිබුණාම ඒත් one. Book නම් එකයි. හැබැයි books කියපුවම අපින් කියවෙනවා book plus s.
Yes.
පැහැදිලිද? ඒක තමයි pronounce කරන්නේ. හැබැයි ඒක ඇතුලේ තියෙනවා කැලි දෙකක්. Book plus s sound. Books. How many morphemes are there? Two morphemes. එකක් තමයි book. අනිත් එක තමයි s. S means plural morpheme. Confused? Are you confused? You can make formulas just like mathematics actually. Okay, so when you are given a word, you should be able to recognize how many morphemes are there, how many morphs are there. When we take the word man, one morph, එක pronunciation එකයි, one morpheme. Man, it will divide කරන්න බෑ. We'll see men. The word men is carrying one morph. කියනකොට men තමයි. එක sound එක. And two morphemes. Two morphemes වෙන්නේ. Morpheme means meaning actually. Man plural. Because the form men cannot be divided, so it is the actual form of the word. That means the morph. But this single form is carrying two different meanings. The meaning is man plus plural. That means men. So that is the two morphemes. One morph and two morphemes. Teeth. T-E-E-T-H. Teeth. How many morph? How many morphemes?
Ma'am, could you please repeat the word?
මම දැන් කිව්වේ මොකද්ද? I forgot just now.
Teeth, no?
Teeth, correct. Teeth. දත් කියන්නේ අපි කියන්නේ teeth, tooth කියන එකේ බහුවචනේ teeth.
one morpheme and two morph.
Or the other way.
One morpheme, one morpheme.
One morph and
One
two
morpheme.
two morpheme.
Two morpheme.
Oh, so can we that two plus S. But pain the නමුත් අපි analyze කරනකොට meaning එක we have to consider the meaning. I will give another word. What shall I give you? Bags. BAGS, bags.
One more and two more things.
Very good. One morph and two
And two
morph.
more.
One morph, two bags නිවන් කියවනේ two morphine. හරි මේ වචනේ බලන්න milk නැත්නම් water. We'll say milk. So like even dog milk.
One more and one
One
more.
morpheme.
Oh, one morph and one morphine. දෙකම එක එක. හරි එකක් ගමු පිටුට. Glasses.
One morph, two morpheme.
One morph the එසුත් වෙනවනේ glasses. Glass කියලා වචනයක් වෙනම තියෙනවා. ඒකයි අපි කියන්නේ glasses තුනම දෙකක් කියලා. හරි? men කියන එක අපි මේ one morph තමයි morpheme කියන්නේ man කියලා තව වචනයක් තියෙන නිසා. හරි මෙහෙම ගමු. Child. Analyze කරන්න බලන්න. How many morph and how many morpheme?
One morph and one morph.
Okay.
One morph and one
And one
morpheme.
morph.
And another word. Children. Children.
And two more
And
things.
two morpheme.
Two morpheme and
One morph.
one or two. Two morph. Because
morph.
already child innavane then. Child,
And then children.
children. Child, children.
Okay.
Pronounce it as children at once, but inside that pronunciation there are two morph. එකක් තමයි child. අනිත් එක තමයි run. Children. Okay, තව බලමු වචන දෙකක් තියෙනවා. හරි. බලන්න මේක. Okay, the word students is carrying two morph, student plus s, as well as two morphemes, student plus plural marker. The morph can be defined as a physical form representing some morpheme in the language. It is recurrent distinctive sound or sequence of sound, phonemes. Natabalam. Morph for the undercalling native කරගන්න. Sorry, මම තව වචන ටිකක් කියන්නම්. Then you will be okay. Table. How many morph? How many morpheme? No idea. Okay, chair. Okay, how many morph? How many morpheme? Chair.
One morph, one morpheme.
One more.
Very good. One morph, one morpheme. Chairs.
One morph and two morphemes.
Two morpheme.
One morph, the
There should be two more, no ma'am,
okay,
because of the plural.
two morph and two morpheme. Two morph tama chair plus S. Two morpheme tama singular plus plural. Okay, we'll do some now we'll go to allamorph. Morpheme, morph, allamorph. These are the three basic concepts of morphology actually. Okay. Allomorphs are variants of the same morpheme without changing the meaning. Okay, so morpheme is the smallest meaningful unit which cannot be further divided. Okay, allomorphs are the variants. Variants means different form of the same morpheme without changing the meaning. Yeah, here you see the plural marker S. The cat plus S, cats. Dog plus S, dogs. House plus S, houses. HOUSE, house plus S, houses. Okay, so then this the morpheme S is having the same meaning, plural meaning. But these three S's are having three different pronunciations. Only a pronunciation different, meaning same. Bahuvachana. Cats, dogs, houses. I told you earlier also. Native English speaker pronounces like this. Cats, dogs, houses. Okay. Allomorph means the variation of the same morpheme without changing the meaning. There's no change in the meaning. And here you see some more. Okay, the past tense morpheme. Walk plus ed, walked. Live plus d. lived. Want plus ed, wanted. So this ed, and it is having the same meaning. Up in the ed, but there's no point of trying to read. Okay. But this past tense morpheme ed is pronounced in 3 different ways, but not by us, native English speaker. Walked, lived, wanted. That is how they say. Walked, lived, wanted, like that. And then negation morpheme im, un, d. Negation morpheme means when we put im, un, or d, the meaning will become negative. An example, impossible, unfaithful, demotivate. Okay, allomorphs are the variations of the same morpheme. Now, tell me whether you have got it correctly or any issues. And I don't think we can go to next one. It will be confused. We'll go. But before that, you should remember, check whether you can understand these things. Morphology. Morphology is the study of words. Okay. And morphology deals with word formation. Morphology focuses on the various morphemes that make up a word. So morpheme, morph, allomorph, they are the basics of morphology. Now tell me, what is morpheme? You can't see, even I can't see. What is morpheme?
Morpheme can stand alone as word.
Sorry?
Morpheme can stand alone as words.
Correct. What else?
A smallest meaning of a word.
Morpheme is the smallest meaningful unit of a word which cannot be further divided. Morpheme. Okay. Morpheme is the smallest meaningful unit of a word which cannot be further divided. Or you also remember the definition. Morpheme is the smallest unit of a word which cannot be further divided. Then what is morph?
How we pronounce the word?
How we pronounce the word. Okay. Before that, we have to touch the free morpheme. Sorry. Before going to morph, we have to say there are 2 types of morpheme. What are they? What are they? There are 2 types of morpheme, free morpheme and bound morpheme. Free morpheme can stand all alone without help of another element and convey the meaning. Bound morpheme, actually they are suffixes and prefixes. They cannot stand alone and give a meaning. They have to join another word to give a meaning. Okay, then morph. What is morph? Morph is the phonetic representation of a morpheme. How a morpheme is pronounced. That is morph. ඊට පස්සේ we understood allomorph. Allomorphs are the variants of the same morpheme. Okay, cats, dogs, houses, they are allomorph. Okay. Okay, now check whether you can remember these things. If you have doubts, you just ask once again. I can show you the topic. Okay. Yeah, if you have questions, ask. I will explain again, no issue. Yes.
Miss,
Oh, yes.
if the word is plural, like example chairs, that means always there are two morphemes and two morphs. Is that okay,
Yeah,
ma'am?
correct,
That is
correct,
how I
correct.
understood.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Because two morph, that is chair plus s, chairs. Because we have a separate word, chair. We
Yeah.
have that pronunciation also.
Also,
That
yes.
is one morph. But when we put s, we pronounce with s, but that is another morph.
Another. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
meaning-wise, two morphemes. One is chair, singular,
Yes.
but when we put s, plural.
Ah,
Correct. Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? So that is same even in other languages. Actually, here we are referring to English, ne? But think about Sinhala. I know there are Muslim girls and boys. I don't know. There may be, but I am sorry, I don't know Tamil language. But I can give examples from Sinhala language. For an example, ballo, dogs clinic, and ballo. So even in that Sinhala word ballo, there are no morpheme actually, because balla plus ballo, bahuvachana, plural, mean. And then two more pronunciation also. We say balla when it is one. Then plural form, ballo, that is another morph. Same way in English. I don't know whether we use the morph, theme, allomorph in our mother tongue, but the same idea I mean. Okay, what are the other questions? Okay, are they clear then? Okay, some more words. Students, We did not discuss that. Ne? Is carrying two morph, student plus S, as well as two morphemes, student plus plural mark. Allomorph. Allomorph are actually variants of the same morpheme. Okay, so next we have to do inflection and derivation. If you have doubts, you can ask. Okay. Okay, so we have to go to inflection and derivation. What is derivation? What is inflectional? We have done that also, but it is complex actually, because already you are confused, I feel. If I start doing this inflection and derivation, it will be too much for you. Okay. We can start inflection and derivation next week. That's what I feel. What's your opinion? I have told you, you have to study these things on the spot, at least after the lecture. Before we meet once again, you should clarify, verify all your doubts actually. So better to go for summaries, short notes, and that will work well. Do you have any question, any suggestions? Nothing? I feel next we are having lectures on, I have the time. Let's see. So we will be meeting once again on, wait, what is the subject? Language and linguistic. We'll be having for this month once again on March 22nd. Okay, in between you are having other subjects. So today is 8. Once again, we are meeting for this month on 22nd. So you have a huge days gap actually. So you can go through them properly, and if you have doubts, you can bring it to the next day. Okay, then shall we wind up the session for today?
Okay, brother.
Yes,
Okay, I will share the slides with Mr. Rishad. Then he will share it with you all. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, madam. Thank you, brother.
Okay, sure.